How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court justices heard oral arguments in the bump stock case. And I think by the questions the justices asked, at least it seems to me that they most likely won't overturn the case. Let me show you some of the questions they asked and see what you think. The Supreme Court's first day of oral arguments in the case of Garland versus Cargill, with their line of questioning suggesting the court may be inclined to uphold the Trump-era ban on bump stocks by the ATF, but not yet fully signaling whether a majority of the justices would eventually back such a ruling. There was abundant debate, with the liberal justices drawing the usual line of anything supportive of gun rights, and the conservative justices asking questions that revealed they're seriously weighing the value as well as the drawbacks to overriding the ATF's unconstitutional decision. Here's a list of questions and quotes shared from the oral arguments. Justice Samuel Alito said, "Can you imagine a legislator thinking we should ban machine guns, but we should not ban bump stocks?" Justice Clarence Thomas said, "There is significant damage from machine guns, carnage, people dying, etc. And behind this is a notion that bump stocks does the exact same thing." So with that background, why shouldn't we look at the broader definition? Justice Amy Coney Barrett said, "Intuitively, I'm entirely sympathetic to your argument. It seems like, yes, that is functioning like a machine gun would. But looking at the definition, I think the question is, why didn't Congress pass the legislation to make this cover it more clearly?" Justice Brett Kavanaugh said, "The fact that administrations from both parties originally said the National Firearms Act did not apply to bump stocks was reason for pause." Justice Neil Gorsuch said, "I can certainly understand why these things should be banned." But then he added that he was wrestling with the implications of how the rule change could negatively affect hundreds of thousands of Americans who had legally purchased the devices, many of them who probably still own them, despite the ATF ordering them surrendered or destroyed. It's going to ensnare a lot of people who are not aware of the legal prohibition. Justice Elena Kagan said, "Why do these various distinctions with respect to operations matter? I read this statute to be a classification statute that Congress is directing everyone or us to identify certain kinds of weapons, and those certain kinds of weapons are being treated in a particular way. They're being prohibited. I view myself as a good textualist, but textualism is not inconsistent with common sense." Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said, "Weapons with bump stocks have triggers that function in the same way as automatic weapons. Through a single right pull of the trigger or touch of the trigger, you achieve the same result of automatic fire." Attorney Jonathan Mitchell, who was representing Michael Cargill in the case, and speaking in response to Jackson's misunderstanding on how the bump stock works. "No, the premise of your Honor's question is not true. A single discharge of the trigger produces only one shot." Justice Sonia Sotomayor questioned why anyone would need a bump stock, and Mitchell replied it can help people with arthritis or other disabilities to more easily fire a rifle. Sotomayor replied, "Why would even a person with arthritis, why would Congress think they need to shoot 400 to 800 rounds of ammunition per minute under any circumstance? If you don't let a person without arthritis do that, why would you permit a person with arthritis to do it?" Justice Elena Kagan also said, "The entire way the statute is written suggests that Congress was very aware that there could be small adjustments of a weapon that could get around what Congress meant to prohibit." Justice Neil Gorsuch also said, "I can certainly understand why these items should be made illegal, but we're dealing with a statute that was enacted in the 1930s, and through many administrations, the government took the position that these bump stocks are not machine guns." The justices are expected to enter a final ruling in the case by the end of June. It seems to me, by the questioning and statements from the conservative justices, that they're not going to overturn the bump stock case and that they will remain banned. And what I'd like to know from you guys in the comment section, do you see it the way I do? And real quick, if you would like to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, and the channel is over 61,000 subscribers, all you have to do is take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. And I invite you to come back and watch my next video.